All right, so I'm setting myself up to make sure that you can see me. We're going to be doing a quick Tabata style workout. No equipment is needed. You just need a little bit of space so that you can move around. But honestly, just the size of a yoga mat would work just fine. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me get timers and all that set up. All right. Let's go ahead and bring that up. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. First thing up, we're going to do just a quick little bit of a warm-up to get started. All right, we're going to start with some butt kickers. We're going to do 20 seconds on and then 10 seconds off. You're going to see that as I get warmed up, we're going to, I'll probably take the sweater off. But for now, we're going to start like this. Just want to welcome everybody for a happy Thanksgiving workout. Let's get those bodies moving before we overindulge in all the good, delicious foods. All right, taking a 10-second break. We're then going to go down to a squat and a tap. All right, and we're going to be alternating that heel tap. All right, here we go. And tap and tap. Going to squat and tap to the opposite side. And what's nice about this type of workout is if I'm going too fast or not fast enough, you can adjust your speed. You can also adjust how low to go in your squat or those exercises. All right, 10 seconds, break. All right, next up we're going to be doing stationary jump ropes. So I'm barely taking off the ground, but if pelvic floor doesn't agree with you, you can do bounces and not actually leave the ground. You just want to make sure that you're adding that motion with your hands as well. And keep your abs nice and tight as you're doing this. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Next we're going to be doing lunging squatting down, then bringing our hands up and around like that. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you're squatting, and you're almost doing like a modified jumping jack. So I used to be the type of person who liked to do 5Ks. I've just never really been much of a runner, and after kids, it definitely wasn't. So I haven't done a turkey trot in a while, but I do prefer to still get my body moving if possible. All right, we're doing a squat and a crunch here. We're going to squat and crunch to the one side. Exhale as you bring the knee to the opposite elbow. All the way down. We've got about 7 seconds left. We'll get a little break, and then you're going to repeat the same thing on the opposite side. All right, time to take off the sweater. All right, 5 seconds. Exact same thing on the opposite side. Squat, drive that knee to the elbow. Squat, drive the knee up. All right, we're halfway done. We're not really going to repeat any of these exercises. So once it's done, it's done. All right. Next, we're doing a squat hold. All right. In 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold it here. Staying in a nice low squat, like you're sitting. Trying to avoid a nasty toilet. So sitting up, keep those legs nice and connected. Drive them down to the ground. Got 5 seconds here. Keep holding it. Breathe. And come up out of it. All right, next we got running or jogging in place. All right. So if you're feeling already kind of out of breath, this type of workout is meant to do that to you. So we want to drive our heart rate up. For 20 seconds, you're going all as hard as you can. And then you have 10 seconds for your body to recover. If you're just starting out, if this is something new for you, you can always take longer breaks if you need it. And next time that you join us and do it again, we're going to go ahead and try to stick it out a little bit longer. Jumping jacks. So out to the side. If the jumping is not for you, you can step it out. You can do cross legs, just whatever works for you and your pelvic floor. Exhale as you jump out to the sides. All right, we're going to do shoulder taps. So now we're going to come down to the ground like this. You got 5 seconds. You're going to tap and tap. So nice, strong core as you tap side to side. If you feel this is too much, maybe you notice coning, you can drop down to your knees. Do the same thing. If you want still to increase the intensity, find an elevated surface. The back of a couch, a countertop. All right, we got narrow and wide squats that we're going to be circulating through. So down and then out, and then you're going to alternate. So out, narrow, out, narrow. Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. Try to stay low in your squat. As you do this, 10 more seconds, and then we're done with this one. You won't be doing this one again. Back and forth. All right, next we got plank into toe tap. So then back in that plank position, and you're going to be tapping the opposite foot. All right, up. Exhale, as you come back down into your plank. Inhale to tap the opposite side. Keep your abs in nice and tight. So you're never fully letting them go. We want to make sure that we protect our backs, especially as we get tired. All right, next we're going to jump, do a variation of a jumping jack. For the next one. All right, so we're here, crossing, and then out. Again, if jumping is not for you, you can tap it to get that a little bit more friendly for the pelvic floor. Less jarring up on your toes. Keep it going. 3, 2, and 1. All right, next we're going to do half burpees. This one's a little tricky if you're dealing with any type of diastasis. If you're still dealing with that, I'll show you a modification here. You're going to come up and back out, up and back out. If this is not for you, you're going to step it out. Just alternate which one's leading. Or you can always go up on an elevated surface. All right, come back up. So you're going to be doing again another variation. This time you're going to be punching out as we do our jumping jack. So we're going to be kind of punching out to the sides. Same thing. If jumping's not for you, you're going to step it out in the same direction. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and rest. All right, we're going to do a plank with a toe tap next. All right, so we're here, and then we have tap and tap. If you can't do this one just yet, elevate yourself. There's really no modification for on your knees, but maybe the back of the couch, a countertop, will work just fine. All right, 10-second break. We're doing a side lunge to a knee tap. All right, so we're gonna lunge it and tap it. Lunge it, tap it. The whole point is really just to elevate our heart rates, get the most out of this workout, so then we don't have to worry about the rest of the day. We've already done it. All right, same thing on the opposite side. So lateral lunge with a knee tap. All right, here we go. So same side, lunging, and then tapping to that side. All right, we got about 5 seconds left here. Trying to go a little deeper each time. All right, next up, we're going to come down to the floor again. We're going to be doing a star plank. So you're out to your side, you'll have one leg, one arm up, and either you can do this way and lift the top leg. If you're not quite there yet, you have the bottom leg down and do it this way. Find whatever works best for you and for your fitness level. And you want to make sure that your abs are nice and engaged as you do this. All right. opposite side. 10-second break. Let's go ahead and find our positions. Go ahead and come down. Oh, just kidding. We're doing reverse lunges first. We're going to reverse lunge. Just alternating those lunges. You can bring your trunk a little bit over that front thigh to make sure that those glutes are working correctly and getting stronger, stabilizing your pelvis. Now we'll hit up the other side. All right, all the way down. And you can also modify by coming down on your elbow, if that works better for you. And it's not so much how high is your leg going, but how stabilized can you get yourself to be. All right, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to do a reverse lunge with a front knee drive. Just kind of stepping it up. In 3, 2, and 1. Moving back and driving that knee up. I hope you guys have plans to meet up with friends and family. Are you hosting? Or are you going to be the one in the kitchen? You bringing anything, helping out? This is the opposite leg now. For myself, we have family out of town that's visiting. My mother's here. My brother and his family are here. We've got about 5 adults, 7 kids all together. Not too giant, but pretty good size. All right, next up, we're gonna do a bit of a burpee and then those shoulder taps. So again, no modification on the knees, but definitely elevate yourself. Tap, tap, in, out, tap, tap, in, out, tap, tap. Keep those abs nice and tight as you jump or step back. All right, go ahead and bring it up. We're going to do prisoner squats. What makes this a little bit different? Our hands are behind our head. Guess what? We are halfway done with this workout. Halfway there. Keep pushing. Get water whenever you need it. Make sure you stay hydrated. All right, next up, coming back down to that plank position again. Get yourself in an elevated surface if you're not quite down to this fitness level. Bring it up. You can extend the leg, drive it in. Extend the leg, drive it in. Exhale. As you bring it in, we've got 7 seconds left. All right, good. Little break. We're going up to skipping rope. Just gonna grab a little bit of water here. All right, we're skipping rope. We're just kind of kicking our legs out. As we do so, keep your ribs stacked over your pelvis. That's gonna help if you're having any leaking issues. Just gives your pelvic floor a better chance of fighting off leaks. All right, back down. Do the knee drive to the leg extension. All right, bring it up, drive it up, and in. Last one here. All right, take your break. Next we got thrusters. So imagine that you have weights. You're gonna thrust them up over your head. So deep squat, thrust up. Sit back into that small chair. You're looking for the little chair. Exhale as you power up. Last one. All right, next we got forward lunges. So instead of lunging backwards, we're going forwards now. All right, here we go. Forward and alternating. And keep it going. 10 more seconds. Try not to hit your knee on the floor. All right, next we got a bit of a burpee, kick back with a push-up. So we're gonna go ahead and come down, pop it back, push up, jump up or up on your toes. All right, take your break. We're doing a squat jump. Really gotta dig through, moving on jumping. You don't have to go super high. If you don't want to, you can just go up on your toes. You make it a small hop, or you can push through and make it a little bit bigger. All right, rest. We're doing a plank hold now. 20 seconds. All right, we're up. Abs are nice and tight. Breathing in through your ribs. Don't let go of your abs. Keep your tailbone tucked. Bring that up, bring it down. We're right in the middle. And come on up. All right, now we have curtsy lunges that we'll be doing. And we're alternating. Well, we're doing a squat to a curtsy lunge, I should say. It's not really alternating. Stay with the same stationary foot. Going to a curtsy lunge, into a squat. Curtsy lunge, squat. All right, 10-second break. Same thing on the opposite side. All right, curtsy lunge, into the squat. There you go. Even if you find yourself really slowing down at this point, I encourage you to just keep at it. Even if you're slow, even if you only get 2 reps in, it's better than none. And each day, you'll get a little bit stronger, you'll get a little bit faster. All right, now we're doing a full burpee. All the way around, all the way back up. Down, up, jump. One more here. All right, 10-second break. Speed jumps, or skaters, whatever you want to call them. All right, 3/4 of the way done. Just moving side to side, staying on the balls of your feet. As soon as you land, you hop right back to the other side. And rest. All right, now we're going to the front, to the back lunge. All right, good, breathe a lot. All right, forward and back. Forward and back. Back and forth. Got 10 seconds left. All right, little break. We're doing the opposite side now. Switch to stationary leg. All right, here we go. Forward and backwards. Do you guys have any Thanksgiving traditions? I want to know. At the end of the workout, give me your Thanksgiving tradition, and then as well as What's your favorite Thanksgiving food? All right, we're down. We're gonna do climbers here. We're up. We're just doing it this way. You have a little bit of options. If that doesn't work for you, elevate. Or you can go this way. You can climb it just on your toes. So you have a little bit of options of what works best for you and your style, your fitness level. All right, break. We're doing a squat with our arms up overhead. All right, so we're coming down into that narrow squat and kicking up as we come up to our full standing. If you need to, you can tap it out. If you feel that your balance is a little challenged, or maybe you're just winded. All right, keep it up, you're doing awesome. We got in and out jumps. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1, out and in. And again, to modify, you're out. You kind of do it similar to what we did earlier. So that would be the only repeat if you need to modify. If not, in and out with the rest of us. All right, next up we got a variation of a jump rope. So you're doing double, double, switch, double, double, switch. All right, so it's 2 single leg hops as you jump that imaginary rope. Hop, hop, switch. Hop, hop, switch. Hop, hop, switch. 5 more seconds. All right, we just got a few more. We're doing squat jacks. So all the way down and all the way back up. Progression of what we just did. Squatting down, jumping all the way up. Keep those ribs stacked. Make sure that nothing's flaring forward. And then do it that way. This is gonna help your pelvic floor. If you keep those ribs stacked. All right, now we got slams. Imagine you got a big heavy ball up over your head, slam it down. Ready? And slam, slam. Drive your hips back as you do this. Do a hip hinge, almost like you're doing a deadlift. Slam it down, exhale. All right, relax. So we're doing a lunge jump with a pulse. All right, we're switching these up. Pulse, pulse, switch, switch, switch. Keep it going. Stay nice and low if you can. Only got 10 seconds left. You can do this. I know it burns, but we're nearly there, guys. All right, break time. Squat, forward punch this time. All right, here we go. Squat, punch, squat, punch. Make sure not to bang your elbows. Get some force into it. Sit nice and low. Exhale. All right, nearly there. Star jumps. We're not going all the way down. We're just coming all the way up. All right, we're here and up. The jump's not for you. We're doing this on the toes. If not, we're jumping as high as you want or just barely lifting off the ground. Keep going. Whew, that's it. You guys did it, you rocked it. All right, let's cool down. Let's swing our arms as we do this. I'm gonna turn on my timer here. All right, we're going back and forth. All right, front leg over the other one. Bring it down. Big deep breath into your nose, out through your mouth. Opposite side. Roll it back down. All right, all the way back up. Grab that leg, pull it up, make sure that they're level, they're not leaning forward or out to the side. We're gonna feel it right in the hip flexor and into the quads. Switch it up. Thank you all for joining. We were able to do this together, get a workout done and over with before we can just forget about it, enjoy the rest of the day. All right, cross the leg over, sit down into it, get the side of those hips and your glutes. Make sure that you drink plenty of water. Walk it off, don't immediately go into the shower. Sweating is good for you. Cleans out those pores, gets rid of those toxins. All right, one big inhale in, and back out. Awesome job, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. See you next time.